is that time. List week over, and after we usually do the list week, we do this tradition at this point of ultimate album tier list. So this is the ultimate 2025 album tier list. We got the biggest releases of the year here. I'm talking like over 150 albums. So there's a lot to go through. As always, S to F scale, S being the best, F being the worst. Let's just get into it because there's a lot of albums to get through. I want to note this is in order of when the albums came out. So we're starting from releases in January and we're going all the way to December. So if you're asking, do rank this album, we're going in order. So you got to wait for those months, all right? I mean, we're starting in January, which was a really fire month. Like, it's rare that January is like a big release month. But yeah, I mean, we're starting right off the bat with Miss FKA Twigs, Eusexua, which saw Twigs going in a more clubby direction, a more danceable electronic pop direction, and a lot of people were doing that this year, but I don't think many people did it as good as Twigs because not that many people have a voice like Twigs, not that many people have the songwriting skill that Twigs has. So we're starting off strong. Twigs is at Eusexua was going in A tier. It's going in A tier. All right, but another big one here. We have Hurry Up Tomorrow, The Weeknd, the final installment in this 80s pop trilogy from Abel. And listen, we're not talking about the film that this came off of because the film we all know sucked. We all know the film sucked. Eusexua her best. What? That's kind of a hot take though, no? We're not talking about the film because the film we all know sucked. However, the music I thought was really good. I think some of Abel's best songs appear on here. I think it's the most cinematic of the trilogy. I think the transitions are awesome. Overall, I think it's like the most thrilling experience of the three. I will say it is a little bloated, and I think that's maybe my only issue with it. There's like a little bit, like a 3-tracker on the middle section I'm not as crazy about. Still think the song Timeless is pretty mid. However, still, like I said, some of the best tracks are on here, and I think it's overall a really great way to end off the trilogy. And I would say it grew on me even more throughout the year. So also with Twigs, I'm going to put Hurry Up Tomorrow in A. An A tier for that album and an F tier for the movie. True. All right, speaking of F tiers, we got Central Cee. What the hell was this album even called? God, I don't know. Central Cee remains one of my least favorite rappers alive. I think the only rapper on this planet Earth I think is a worse rapper that people actually take seriously. Like, I'm not talking about like fucking Dave Blunts. Like a rapper that people actually take seriously. Central Cee's like bottom 3 rappers alive. The guy has the same one-dimensional ass flow. No bars, man. Like, the guy just cannot stop talking about, like, he just does these gay bars all the time. Like, these homophobic bars. He just can't stop saying them. Yeah, the guy sucks as a rapper. I don't understand why he's as popular as he is. Also, I barely even remember a thing off this record, man. Yeah, this thing sucked. I'm putting this in F tier. But bouncing back, pretty big here. We got Bad Bunny, Debitará Más Fotos. I've praised this album all year, man. Bad Bunny really just channeling the sounds of his home of Puerto Rico. I love all the band inclusions on this thing, and I love how he has like those sounds, but it also has a lot of the sounds that we know him for as well. You got the bangers, and then you got those tracks that have like more of the band's involvement. And I would say his best record far and away. You got the reggaeton elements, you got a lot of heartfelt writing moments as well, like the title track. Yeah, I mean, not only do I think this was the best Latin album to come out this year, but I think this is one of the best Latin records of the decade. So I'm gonna put that in A tier as well. Another record like I don't even remember here, the fucking Lil Baby record. I just think at this point, Lil Baby, one feels uninspired. Not really a change up of the sound at all. How long was this record? Like, was this a long ass record? I know the Central Cee record wasn't that long, but I feel like this was a long bloated record too. I literally do not remember a thing off this thing. I just remember disliking it. I don't know. I really don't remember anything about this record. I guess I don't remember it. All I know is I don't remember it being the worst thing I heard this year, but I remember it being pretty bad. So I don't know, D, I guess. Then we got Mac Miller, Balloonerism. Awesome posthumous record. Rare that you get those, especially multiple, but you know, there's been so many great posthumous albums already from Mac Miller, which kind of goes to prove, I think, Mac's talent. I think it is one of his most experimental records, really psychedelic. Thundercat's bass playing throughout this thing is awesome. And it has a mixture of like some songwriting and some rap. It seems like it was a product of Faces, but also what he would go on to later master on stuff like Swimming. And there's some really great songwriting on here as well. Some of Mac's best. So also gonna put on the A tier, man. We got so many A tiers already. The section was S tier, honestly, so good. It's really good. It's really good. I feel like, listen, I'm gonna be honest, I feel like I'm only gonna put like my top 10 albums of the year in S tier. Yeah, rest in peace to late great Mac Miller. We got Perverts, Ethel Kane, which is technically an EP, but also like an hour and 30-minute long ambient drone record. I don't know, like I really liked this. It was one of my favorite EPs of the year. You definitely have to be in like a certain mood to kind of, I think, get into it. However, I just found it to be like such a weird experimental detour moment for Ethel. Obviously, she had the album that came out this year, which we will talk about. But I think a lot of like the core songwriting songs on here are actually like probably the best stuff Ethel put out this year. I think the drone moments are really cool. Again, the only issue is you have to be in a certain mood to listen to like an hour and 30-minute long, for the most part, ambient drone record. But I thought it was a cool experimental moment. I put this in B. Oh God, we have the Drake and freaking Party Next Door record. Oh my God. Was there a bigger snooze fest this year than this freaking record right here? Yeah, I mean, Drake and Party doing an R&B thing with some terrible song ideas mixed throughout, whether you have a terrible Latin-inspired song like Meet Your Padre, or that one like more folky indie song they made. I don't even remember the name of that. Vocals on this thing are mid as hell. Songwriting mid as hell. The only redeeming factor and the only reason why this album will go in D tier instead of F tier is because Nokia is on it, and Nokia is a very good song. That's the only redeeming factor. Other than that, this is one of the most boring, bloated, long-ass albums I heard this year. Truly, truly a bore. So yeah, I'm gonna put this one in D tier. The only thing that saves that thing from being F tier, freaking Nokia. Then we got Miss Okloo. I mean, Okloo had a great big year this year. I will say I didn't seem to be as crazy about this album as like her fans did. However, I do really see the potential in this record and what Okloo is doing. I think she has a really unique, cool signature sound. I think my only issue with this record is I feel like there are some tracks on it that feel a little bit scant, a little too short for my liking, and maybe could have been expanded out a bit more, but still, there are a lot of great tracks on here. The closing track is great. I think the track with Underscores is amazing. I think the track with Blade is really good. I think the intro track is really good. There are a lot of great tracks on here. I think she's going to make something really, really great with her next record. And this is technically her debut too, so that's pretty impressive. But yeah, the Okloo I enjoyed, but I wasn't as crazy about it as other people seem to be. But still, I'm going to throw the Okloo in the beats here. Then we have the Chica Ioba album. Chica Ioba. I don't know, like, I thought this was okay. I didn't love it as much as I did her last record. It was pretty while it was on, but it was, I don't know, like, it wasn't as memorable to me and did not stick with me as much as her last record. And honestly, yeah, I know I never really went back to this record. It's pretty while it's on, and that was just kind of it for me. So I guess C tier. Tate McRae, better than her last record, I guess. I think the production on this one was a little bit more interesting. There are definitely some bangers on the production end. Like Sports Cars got a good beat. I won't deny Sports Car is a pretty good song, but still, like, I just do not A tier. But still, I just like Tate McRae does nothing for me vocally. I think she is in desperate need of better songwriters. Songwriting still weak as hell to me on this thing. I don't know. I was not a fan of this record. My gripes with Tate McRae just kind of remain the same. I'm not a fan of her vocals. I'm not a fan of the writing. I think she stepped up the production a little bit, but that's really all I could say. I didn't like much about this record. I'm going to put this in D tier. Ooh, and then we have Rebecca Black, Salvation. Oh my goodness. One of the most underrated albums of the year. It is like kind of a mini record. It's short, like 8 tracks, but damn, all of the tracks on here are absolute slappers. I think Rebecca takes a little bit of risk as well with the production. I think she's actually like a really solid vocalist, has definitely improved a lot as a vocalist over the years. This thing is just like fun ass dance pop tunes, very like Sophie PC Music inspired as well. It is like one of the better things I heard in pop this year. Very good. I think it has me very intrigued and excited for what Rebecca is going to do soon. So yeah, I mean, do not sleep on this thing if you have not heard it. It is very good. A lot of great tracks on this thing. I'm gonna put it in B tier. The Squid album from earlier this year, I thought was another step down compared to their previous record. It just didn't go as hard. There weren't as many hard hitting banger tracks on this thing compared to the last record. Yeah, again, another one that just didn't really stick with me this year. Put that one in C. Venturing, also known as Jane Remover. This record is like more of a shoegazy kind of rock album from Jane. Do I like it as much as like the other stuff she did this year? No. But it was like a cool shoegaze record. And I feel like it kind of showed off her songwriting skill a bit more. I did like it. Again, did not go back to it as much as like Revenge Seekers, but still, I thought it was enjoyable. Still flexing her production skills on that thing, just showing how versatile she freaking is. So I'm gonna throw that one in B. Lisa, Blackpink. I liked Born Again. I liked that track a lot. with Doja and Ray. I think there was a song on here where it was like she interpolated some freaking pop song, which sucked. But I don't, again, does anyone remember anything off this record? Like, I'm sorry, I don't remember much off this record other than that Doja Cat track, which I did like. I guess for the Doja Cat track alone and the Ray track alone, maybe it's either C or D. It was obviously a very forgettable record, though. I don't remember it being outright bad, though, so I guess C? I don't know. Oh, gosh. Okay, people watching Sam Fender. Gosh, I feel so much frustration with this album right here. And maybe I feel like chat might be a little bit like split when it comes to Sam Fender. But I think this album showed for me Sam Fender is actually like, and I kind of did not give him credit for before hearing this record, he is actually such a skilled songwriter. However, my issue with this album is like his sound is so goddamn boring. Like, we get it, dude. Bruce Springsteen, Americana, cool. But I don't know, man. Like, I think he's just such a skilled songwriter, and he could be over such way more just, like, interesting production than just giving us, like, Bruce Springsteen at home. So, yeah, I was impressed by the songwriting on this thing heavily. I was not really into the production choices. So, I don't know, hoping like he does something more daring than just this sound next time. But I think the songwriting is so impressive. I can't put it like D tier or anything like that. So I guess C. I'm in the middle on it. Songwriting is impressive. Sound boring. All right, then we have Dark Side, which was a really funky ass electronic album. I honestly, like, one of the electronic albums of the year. Kind of forgot about it a little bit. I believe Nicholas Jar, also like Against All Logic, is kind of the creator of this thing. And yeah, I mean, some killer production on this thing. Cool sample work. Pretty funky. Fun as hell. Put that one in B tier. Then we have this Larry June Alchemist 2 Chainz collab record. Production's nice from Alchemist. I like 2 Chainz over this. However, I could have just deleted Larry June on this thing entirely. This thing would have been a lot better if Larry June was just not on it. I'm not trying to be like a hater or anything. I just think Larry June is one of the most uninteresting rappers, man. Just has this like monotone ass flow. I get it's a vibe, but my gosh, does it get boring for an entire record. Yeah, this one was kind of a snoozer. It was kind of a snoozer. One thing I got out of this record was I'd love to see just a collab record from 2 Chainz and The Alchemist. So yeah, C. Oh, the controversial is next. Uh-oh. Playboy Cardi music. Yeah, I'm sorry. This record is not good. It's not good. I think Cardi has just hit a wall artistically where he doesn't really have much new to offer. This album just kind of sounded like stuff he was already doing on stuff like Die Lit and Whole Lotta Red, but just like not as strong. The choruses don't bang. The production is a bit more messy. The mixing isn't all that great. There's a few bangers here and there, but goddamn, why is it 30 plus songs long? Why? You get like maybe 5 good songs on the entire thing. Yeah, I just think this is a regression overall. This is what this felt like. It feels like Cardi has no new ideas and he's just doing stuff he's already done before, which is a shame because I feel like Cardi, with each record prior to this point, even if I wasn't that big of a fan of Whole Lotta Red, that is one of the most influential records so far of the decade. And here, I don't really see what he's doing that's new. It just feels like a weaker versions of what he was already doing. So, yeah, I'm putting this in D tier, man. Too long, not that great. Deaf Heaven. This was a really nice artsy metal record. I think I'm very picky when it comes to my metal music, so this isn't one like I saw myself returning to that much, but I do like respect what it was going for. I think it has a lot of cool like artsy elements and pretty heavy vocals and some like pretty shoegazy moments as well. Not something I went back to often, but I definitely respect it, and I know people love this thing. I get it, but for me it's like a B tier album. For me it's like a B tier record, but if you put it in A, I get it. I understand. Ooh, another big one here. Lady Gaga. Mayhem. I mean, I think you guys know my opinion. If you guys watch me, you guys know my opinion on this record already. The first 7 songs, maybe 8 songs of this record, pop perfection. Just dance, bop, one after another, after another, after another. Gaga just in prime form. However, halfway through, I think this record kind of takes a nosedive. Yeah, I mean, there's a few tracks that pick it up in the second half, but like, yeah, I think the second half of this record really pales in comparison to the first half, and I hate hate how this album ends with freaking Die With a Smile, that boring, bland-ass Grammy bait song. Terrible ending to an album. One of my most, like one of the worst endings to an album this year. So yeah, I some of Gaga's best songs in like a decade are on this thing, but the second half is inconsistent as hell for me. But with that being said, the first 7 tracks of this album are so goddamn good, I can't really put it anything lower than B. Kill for Love is very good, but again, that was on like the bonus thing, so yeah. Ooh, Saba and No ID from the collection of Saba and No ID. Really liked this rap album, man. I think this is one of the better rap albums of the year, maybe one of the more slept on this year. I think this is my favorite thing Saba has done since Care For Me. Bars are on point, storytelling is on point, concept songs are there. No ID production is killer. It's really good, man. It's really good. I don't think people gave enough credit to the Saba and No ID record, unfortunately, but I really enjoyed it. I'll put that one in B. Then we have the Clipping record, which saw them going more electronic. Another one I just never really went back to. I thought it was a cool concept. I think the electronic elements of it were really cool direction for them. Stefan's rapping is obviously there. I don't know what it was, though. I just never really came back to it. Maybe it's something I do have to revisit, but as of now, I'm going to say it's B tier. I did enjoy it. I think it is good. I like the electronic direction, but yeah. Next up, we got Ruby by Miss Jenny of Blackpink fame. I mean, pretty handedly like the best Blackpink album. It was okay. It was okay. I really like that intro track. Who wanna rock with Jenny? That song is a bop. That song is a banger. You know, there's a few other good tracks here and there. The Cali Gambino track was alright. I think this album showed there's potential there with Jenny. I think Jenny easily has the most potential of any of the Blackpink members to make a pretty good solo album. So yeah, there was a few good tracks here and there, but overall, I thought the record was just kind of okay. I don't think like any of the Blackpink members really have that newer of a sound or anything. They just like make some decent pop music, or at least Jenny did here. You know, album's a bit all over the place sonically too. I'll put it in C tier. Japanese Breakfast saw Michelle and the gang doing a little bit of a countryer sound here, a little bit folky sound. Not as pop heavy as Jubilee was. Listen, it's not as good as Jubilee, but like Michelle's songwriting is still great. You know, I get it. People don't like the more country route from them, but I think it was still good. There's a lot of tracks I went back to on here. I'll throw this in B. I'll throw it in B. Next up, we got Backwash, man. Friend of the show, Backwash. Only Dust Remains. Oh my gosh. Like, lyrically, there is not a more devastating album to release this year more than this Backwash record. Heavy themes lyrically, man. It is an emotional listen, but lyrically, goddamn, so much emotion provoked with every single verse on this thing, man. And the record does end, I think, on a peaceful note, too, which is nice in a sense of hope. But yeah, goddamn. Not only is the production on this thing ambitious, but lyrically, I think it's just stellar. It was in my top 10 of the year, so that means I kind of have to put it in an S. So it's gonna be the first S tier. Backwash, friend of the show, Backwash. Then we have Weather Day, goth pop record, I guess, very gothy. Some sweet songs on here. This thing's just too long. It's bloated. It was just too long for me. Definitely some cool like throwback, gothic tracks that I enjoyed. Cool production too, but again, just too long. I'll put it in B. I enjoyed it, but just a little too long. We have the Perfume Genius record. Admittedly, like Perfume Genius has never done like that much for me. I always think he puts out really pretty sounding records, and he is like undoubtedly a freaking incredible songwriter. But I don't know, like Pretty While It Was On, it falls in that camp. I'll very Pretty While It Was On, but did not like really move me all that much. I think the singles were great. I think the singles were the best tracks on this thing. The deep cuts didn't hit for me as hard. Very pretty record though. I guess I'll also throw this one in B. Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco. I don't know if I heard anything this year that has less of an identity than freaking this album. Like, I just don't think Selena really has all that great of talent musically. I'm sorry. I don't really think we need a Selena Gomez record. There's really nothing musically she provides that is needed. Best tracks on this thing just are songs from other people, whether that be the Charlie XCX written track, which is just a Charlie song, the Maria's track, which is just a Maria's song. It just has no musical identity, and Selena in general has never really had a musical identity. So is it terrible? Like the worst thing I ever heard this year? No, but like it's got nothing going on. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. And Selena definitely is not that great of a vocalist either. So, and D tier, I don't think we needed this. All right. Ooh, spelling Portrait of My Heart. Goddamn. Just did not get enough appreciation as it should have. I mean, Spelling just has like one of the coolest voices alive, I think. Her voice is just enchanting. And in this record, I get it's not as like whimsical as her last album, which I know people put in a high regard, but I love that she went for more of a rock sound here. I think that the rock sound really suited her well. I loved this thing, man. I thought it was great. Vocals on point, enchanting record, cool rock sounds. A tier for me. All right, Lucy Dacus. It was good. I mean, I still think Lucy is a fantastic songwriter. And this record, she was in love. Where I feel like previous Lucy Dacus records, she was depressed. But now we're happy. We're in love. And that's cool. That's cool for sure. I don't think the sound is all that different from what Lucy has always done. She didn't really switch up the sound bit. I think the biggest difference, again, is that she was just happy, which is cool. Good for her. And she's still like a really good songwriter. So yeah. Not one I really went back to all that much, but it was good listen. It was a good listen. So B tier. Oh God, the Will Smith record.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I hate to do it to my guy Will, but yeah, the Will Smith record is going in F tier. Oh, it's just Old Head the album. The guy was listening to way much Joyner Lucas and Eminem. The Joyner Lucas and Eminem influence on this record bleeds in a way that is gross. And it is just the corniest album lyrically I heard. It also feels like an apology album of some sorts right from the opening track, but it also just feels really whiny lyrically. So yeah, I mean, production's outdated, corny ass songwriting, and yeah, just the definition of corn, I think. So F tier. But we got Jane Remover, baby. Revenge Seekers. Jane Remover. I mean, look, you guys know this was number 2. It was my runner-up album of the year. I just could not get enough of this thing. Just like the most high energy shit imaginable. It's just nonstop, to the face, banger, nonstop, energy-filled, chaotic, wild, one-of-a-kind production. It's like a mix of digicore, rage, electronic sounds. It just goes hard as hell. The endless quotables, also very catchy at points, too. It's just a fun-ass album. I get it's not for everyone, but I literally was addicted to this thing this year. And like I said, it was my number 2 album of the year. Obviously, it's going in freaking S tier. Jane Remover, Revenge Seekers, it's going in S tier. Then we have Black Country New Road, Forever How Long. Another one the music nerds weren't really messing with much. And look, guys, we just have to move on from the fact that like Black Country New Road are doing something different now. They're not the same band. They no longer have Isaac Wood. They are a different band. However, I like the new approach from the band. The amazing instrumentation is still there. The killer horn work, the killer string work is still there. The only difference is they're like more upbeat and like fun and like tongue-in-cheek now. And that's cool. And also, I think the ladies who are now the vocal points of this record provide a lot of great storytelling. I thought this thing was great. I think it's just as well as produced as some of the best Black Country New Road stuff. It's different, obviously, but I still loved this thing. So I'm honestly going to put this in A tier. I'm putting it in A. Gosh, Bon Iver, Sable, Fable. I mean, I've said this a lot. I've talked about it a lot this year. I think this is the second best thing Bon Iver has ever made. Other than like the first half, which was just like the EP slapped on to the actual album, which was an interesting choice, but I think it is a choice that did work. I think it flows seamlessly into the actual album part of it, or the Fable section, I guess. But yeah, I mean, Justin doing like a soulful album, like a very soulful. This thing is filled with soul. I think very Dijon inspired, but I don't know. I just thought this thing was smooth as hell. Love Justin over this production. I don't know. Like, there's so many albums this year where like people were just in love, and I feel like that was the case for this record as well, writing wise. So yeah, I'm going another A for Mr. Bon Iver. I loved the hell out of this record. Then we got Skrillex. Skrillex. Fuck you, Skrillex. You think you're Andy Warhol, but you're not. This was fun. This was a blast. This was a good ass time. This shit took me back to like 2011 Black Ops 2 era of EDM. And I think it's really cool how he did this record. It was like kind of like a DJ set kind of thing. I mean, look, the songs on this album are really short. Like, there's not much you could pull out of it if you're just going by individual tracks. However, just like seamlessly all the way through, listen, fun as hell. Fun as hell. Killer production. I think it's like a mix of like Skrillex's earlier stuff and like the stuff he's been doing in like the later part of his career. Again, one of the better electronic albums I heard this year. Cool little like mixtape feel this thing has. Also, like the mixtape DJ sounds or whatever things in here, which add like a really funny element to the record. So yeah, B tier for Mr. Skrillex. Then we got Ken Carson, More Chaos. Again, I think there was so much good rage music this year, and Ken Carson, to me, it remains one I do not understand the hype of. Not only is his production choices not all that innovative or anything like that, I think his voice is kind of annoying. I don't know, I just don't think he provides anything interesting to the rage sound, especially when there were so many more standout moments this year. I thought this record kind of sucked. F tier, probably more D tier. I don't think it was the worst of the worst, but yeah, mixing was absolute dog crap on this record. The mixing sucked. This shit was just blasted and not in a good way. And the guy doesn't even have like a great hook making ability. All right, Viagra Boys, kind of self-titled thing, I guess. I don't think there's any album this year that had more unhinged, insane lyrics than freaking this Viagra Boys record. Like, they are just insane freaking moments lyrically on this thing. I downloaded your mom's OnlyFans. Like, what the fuck? Like, the lyrics on this thing are so insane. It's fun. It's fun as hell. It's a pretty short record, but production goes off. There's some, like, more kind of serious tracks, too, that I think are really good. I liked this thing a great deal. I think it's a really fun, like, new wave kind of dance punk album. So I enjoyed it. Throw it in B tier. I liked it. Then we have this 2 Hollis record, which is like probably one of top 5 most disappointing records of the year for me. I like 2 Hollis. I think he's got some cool things going on when it comes to that like 2000s kind of like rap pop fusion, a little bit of electronic and like mixes in there too. I think he's got interesting stuff going on. I think his album from last year is really cool. However, I don't know what the hell happened with this, man. This album just felt rushed. These songs felt unfinished. It just felt like an album of ideas, and that was it. So yeah, super disappointing. It felt like it should have been fleshed out more, and that's all I can really say. C tier, I guess. Ooh, Natalia Lafourcade, Quinceañera. Great Latin record. Great Latin record. It's a little bit more minimal compared to Natalia's last record, but just like good ass Mexican folk music. Beautiful vocals, just beautiful records, beautiful duets. Beautiful duet overall throughout this thing. Beautiful duets overall. I like this one a lot. Didn't like as much as her last record, but still really pretty. Put it in B tier. Joe, do not understand the freaking hype behind Joe. If I wanted to listen to someone that sounds like The Strokes, I would just freaking listen to The Strokes. I do not understand it. I found this record painfully derivative and uninteresting. I'm sorry. D tier. I just do not understand the hype of Joe. Speaking of derivative, oh my god, Malcolm Todd, Steve Lacy, if you can hear this, please come back. They're trying to force Malcolm Todd on us, dude. Please help us. I'm sorry. Like, I think Malcolm Todd is like a pretty talented producer, but goddamn, bro, you're just making Steve Lacy songs. Like, I don't know, man. You kind of have to grow out of it. Man, Steve, that's all I gotta say about this record. Steve Lacy, please come back, dude. Please come back, because they're trying to replace you with Malcolm Todd. It's not working, but like, hey, it was fine, I guess. Again, he's talented production-wise. He can make a decent melody, but goddamn, the guy's really gotta come into his own. He's gotta stop wearing those Steve Lacy influences so hard on his damn sleeve. C tier. Yeah. This Coco Jones record, I hate to do it, man, but it was not great. Another really disappointing one. I think Coco is obviously a great vocalist, but yeah, this is just a really bland and at points dated R&B record, man. I feel like people even forgot this thing came out. It was just really forgettable, which is a shame because I think she is a very good vocalist, man. I think she's a really good vocalist. So, I don't know, man. Just wasn't really feeling the Coco record. C tier. All right. Ooh, yeah, peak next indeed. We got Miss PinkPantheress, aka the Queen of the UK. The Queen of the Y2K PinkPantheress, 2000s Y2K electronic pop banger after another. Some of her catchiest songs ever, whether that be Illegal, Stateside, You Want Sex With Me? Come Talk to Me. God, just endlessly catchy. The only issue I have with this album, and it is technically a mixtape, so I get it. God, I wish it was longer. Why couldn't it be longer? Why is it only 8 songs, man? But God, it is like Y2K bops, catchy as hell, banger ass, freaking danceable ass production. God, she's so good. She's so consistent. She doesn't fucking miss. She's the queen of the UK. She's the only UK queen we acknowledge, okay? Yeah, I mean, PinkPantheress, fancy that. It's going in A tier, man. Fucking goat. She's the goat. What was I gonna say? Okay, we have Ego Trip by John Michael. A strange album to me. It is interesting how this album kind of got the traction it did. It literally came out of nowhere. These were just 2 guys in their college dorm who put out a rap record, and it got tons of buzz in like the nerdy online spaces. From like Album of the Year and Rate Your Music. It's like one of the highest rated rap records of the year. Still don't really know how it was found out about. Still kind of weird to me. However, as far as the album goes, I don't know. Like, I think there is potential here. I think for the circumstances in which it was made, it is impressive. 2 guys in the college dorm making a rap record. The rapping overall is kind of okay. I think there's a lot of heart that goes into it, but lyrically, I think John Michael has a lot to improve on. And the production, I think there's potential there as well. It's so obvious that these people like love freaking like Kane and like Alchemist and like Mad Lib on the production. And there's like just straight up obvious like samples that have been used a million times already on this record. So, I don't know. The best thing I could say about this record, I think these 2 guys have potential, and I'm looking forward to seeing them grow because they are just young freaking college students. But yeah, I think there's a lot of improvement that still needs to happen here. But I definitely see the potential. And again, for the circumstances in which they were made, I think it is impressive. However, wasn't really feeling the record too much other than that. It's probably like C tier for me. But I see the potential, and, I'm interested to see what they do. All right, now we have Billy Woods. Got a really cool, like, horrorcore record with some really deep, heavy, thought-provoking songwriting. Again, like, I don't think structurally wise these songs hit me as hard as like Billy's previous records. It is not one of my favorite Billy records, but I think it is the horrorcore element. I think was a really cool switch up for, again, I think structurally I wish some of the songs maybe had a little bit more going. Again, I get it is freaking Billy Woods, so I shouldn't expect anything else. But yeah, I enjoyed the record. It's just not one I went back to as much as previous Billy records, so for that reason I'm putting it in B. But I did like the horrorcore direction. All right, then we have Miss Callie Uchis. Sincerely, honestly, like just the most consistent artist over the past couple years. I mean, goddamn, is she ever going to take a break from putting out a yearly record? It seems like she already has a new record in the works from what I've seen. But with that being said, I think this is my second favorite Callie record, only to Isolation, probably. Yeah, some of Callie's most personal lyrics appeared on this thing. I liked the dream pop direction from her as well. I like a lot of the, like, 60s sounds she kind of sprinkled throughout the record, too. It is a very cohesive record with some personal songwriting about being a mother and I think just a motherhood in general. Yeah, really, really liked this thing. Again, my second favorite Callie album. I'm going to throw this in B. High B, though. This is probably like nearing the A tier. Oh, woo! Now we have Miley Cyrus. Something Beautiful. I cannot believe I loved an album from Miley freaking Cyrus. Because if you guys know me, prior to this record, I was a Miley Cyrus doubter. I was a Miley Cyrus hater. I thought there was potential there with her 2020 record, so I don't really understand why Endless Summer Vacation, the album that came out after that, was so freaking bland. But because to me, Miley has always had great vocal chops, and she just wasn't ever doing anything that interesting. However, oh my gosh, what a freaking daring record. What a daring record. Straight from the lead single, the self-titled track. Holy shit, like the crazy rock elements, the crazy jazz elements all fused into one was mind-blowing. The production on this thing is so damn versatile. There's disco elements. There's rock elements. There's standard like 70s pop elements. Easily Miley's best record. Songwriting, Best stuff from her too. God, it is a great pop record. It is one of the best pop records of the year. Is probably the best thing to come out from a mainstream artist this year. A shame commercially it didn't do as well as it did, because it is, again, the best thing Miley has ever done. Truly a daring pop record. One of the most daring pop records from an artist at her level in a long ass time. So yeah, I loved the hell out of this thing. Somehow I'm still shocked that I loved a Miley record. But yeah, Something Beautiful is going to A. It's going to A. Then we have Ule, who, again, a record I liked, but I am a little disappointed that this record wasn't as experimental as her previous records. It was going for more of like approachable sound, which I get. I do like the 2000s sound she was going for, the 2000s emo pop sound. I think that's cool, but I think she could have like used her experimental stuff she's known for and kind of mixed that sound in there too, which I think would have ended up like really cool. Yeah, some great tracks, but I don't know, man. I guess C tier, unfortunately. I think that album had potential. I hope she revisits that sound and adds her more experimental stuff she's known for. Then we have the Car Seat Headrest record, which, I don't know, like, it's a solid effort from Will Toledo and the crew, but just never went back to it. Again, that's just my issue. Never really went back to it. It is a lengthy record. Maybe that was why. A lot, like, heavier rock sounds on here, which was cool. I don't know. Did anyone else really go back to this record at all? I didn't. I just didn't. Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to go see. I guess I'll go see. I will go C tier. Swans, I'm sorry, this might birthing. Is that the name of this one? Maybe the most overrated record of the year to me. I am sorry. There is a much better Swans record. This thing is just, it's a Swans record, so it is going to be long, but oh my gosh. It legitimately took me like 2 days to get through this record. I just think Swans has done more interesting stuff, more experimental stuff, songs that have cooler build-ups and better journeys overall. I don't know. I think this is the most overrated records of the year, if not the most overrated record of the year. It was fine. Goddamn, though. Like, it's just was not interesting enough to warrant its length. All right? That's all I'm saying. C tier. Ooh, Parachute, Model Actress, putting this one in A tier off the rip. Gosh damn, this album is danceable, electronic, new wave punk with revealing lyrics that dive heavy into like sexuality. It's got like a lot of cool, weird experimental moments too. The grooves on this thing are awesome. That album's great. Definitely listen to it if you have not. I'm putting that one in A tier. Lucy Bedrock. I think the Rage sound was really, really cool this year, and I think Lucy provided a spin on it that is really intriguing. Just another high energy one. Really catchy hooks too. Enjoyed this record for what it is, and I'm interested to see Lucy kind of expand on these ideas here because they got something special going on, and I see the potential here again, so I'm putting that one in B as well. Here we go. Sleep Token, Even in Arcadia. God, Sleep Token fans were not happy about my reaction to this record, but goddamn, this thing is going in F because this thing sucks. Oh my god, this thing sucks.
Tomato, I'm throwing tomatoes.
It's barely even a metal record. It is just a pop record disguised as a metal record. The most annoying vocals ever. They just threw ideas at a wall for every song and none of them stick. They were just throwing shit at the wall in terms of song ideas. The metal sections on this album are so out of place. It is so bad. I'm sorry. It is so bad. The vocals are annoying. Barely even. It's like a pop metal record at most. A mess. Is the biggest mess I heard this year. Just total mess. F tier. F tier. Sucked. Hated it. Hated every second of it. Oh, man. This Erykah de Caesar record? I listened to this literally yesterday, just seeing if it would click. It just did not. I'm sorry. It's a vibe. It's a really nice vibe. And that's just kind of it. I think there are some standout tracks. I don't think the songwriting is that impressive. Vocals, I don't think are like strong enough to really move me. I kind of get the appeal. But other than that, I don't know. It's a C tier record for me. I'm sorry. It just is. It just is. I know.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I saw it earlier this month, and this album was amazing to hear live. Maybe live it's cooler, but I don't know. It's like the vocals just didn't really move me much. The songwriting didn't move me much. Some of the production's cool. Caroline 2 is another one I did enjoy. I thought it was a really solid art rock record. That single, Caroline Polachek, is fantastic. A lot of cool, like, weird structures on this thing, too. I enjoyed it. Wish I maybe went back to it more, but definitely solid art rock record. I'll throw it in B tier. My god, this Young Lean album. I mean, there's some cool production, but holy shit, the vocals on this thing, Lean's vocals on this thing are legitimately unlistenable. He went for more of an indie thing, and that results in him just like singing a lot more. And again, his voice on this record, at least, is unlistenable to me. The only thing that's saving this thing from being in F is, I think, some of the production's nice. And then we got May Simones. Really liked this thing. I'm going to put this in B tier. Check this album out if you have not. It is a very jazzy alternative rock record with sweet ass vocals and killer guitar work. She's got a sweet voice, and I love how she kind of switches between Japanese and English throughout the record. Yeah, just really sweet alternative rock jazz record. Another big disappointment for me, unfortunately, was this Amine album, 13 Months of Sunshine. Yeah, this is like top 5 most disappointing albums of the year for me, because I really like Amine, and I really liked Limbo from 2020, and I was like one of the few people who were defensive of the collab that he did with Kate Renata. But yeah, this is probably my least favorite thing Amine has ever made, which sucks because it was a really personal record. But the singing, he just decided to do more of a singing route for the most part here, and I just don't think that did him favors. I don't think the more indie singer route did him favors. I think he was gonna do more singing. He probably should have added more features that kind of helped there. But yeah, unfortunately, I was not feeling this Amine record. Put it in C tier. Arc de Triomphe is a banger though, and the track with Leon's a banger too. Key Glockavelli. One of the best trap albums of the year, man. One of the best trap albums of the year. Listen, it's a little bit like of the same of what Key Glock was doing on his last record, but he's just like, he has some of the best beat choices, man. He is such a good ear for beats, and he just has like a great like Memphis sound, and he's a really good rapper. The outlier of all the popular trap albums this year. Yeah, and it's a shame because I don't think it got as much shine as it maybe should have. Gross. Morgan fucking Wallen, straight in F tier. One thing I have to say about this record: fucking never make a 40 song long album ever. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a shit if you're Magdalena Bay. Well, I don't know. If you're gonna make some of the most bland bro country imaginable, where it's the same cliche bullshit of beer, alcohol, breakup song, don't make your shit 40 songs long, bro. Like, stop. Garbage, trash, everything wrong about country, everything wrong about modern mainstream country, because there's some good country records here and there. But yeah, F tier, man. F tier. More underrated for me here is this freaking Rico Nasty record, man. I thought this Rico Nasty album was so underrated. I think it's one of Rico's best, if not Rico's best. Saw her really digging into like the punk sound mixed with the rap sound, and I thought it was like her best stuff yet. Love how punky it was. Also some pop tracks on here, the more like sugar trap stuff she was known for in the beginning, and then you just have like the freaking bangers. You have the bangers. Like, it's such a versatile record, but it's very cohesive as well. You guys slept on this freaking Rico album this year, man. You guys slept on it. It is very good. Rico is going in the B tier, man. You guys freaking slept on that record. Look, McKinley Dixon, Magic Alive. You guys know where it's going, man. It was my album of the year. It was my album of the year for 2025. You guys don't already know. It's obviously S tier. I just think it's brilliant conceptually. I think there's so much passion and emotion that goes into every single one of these verses. The live jazz instrumentation is mind-blowing. Performances off the charts, features add a great deal to the record as well. I think it is the rap record of the year, obviously, one of the best jazz rap records of the decade, and my album of the year. So yeah, S tier, obviously. My album of the year 2025, McKinley Dixon, Magic Alive. Ooh! We got Lord Virgin. Uh-oh. Yeah. I was a little disappointed by this Lord record this year. It's certainly better than Solar Power, but there was just something missing with this record. I don't know if it was Jimmy Stack's production. I don't know if it was the more unconditional song structures. I didn't get too much memorability out of this record, which sucks to say. And I feel like Lord did kind of play it a little safer because of the reception of Solar Power. I just didn't find myself going back to as many tracks on here as I wish I did. There's a few good moments here and there, but I don't know. Like, I think maybe the more unconditional structures made it so I wasn't really gravitating to this record as much as other people were. I don't know. It's not like you get like really catchy hooks out of this Lord record at all. So yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Lord's version is going in C. It's going in C for me. I was disappointed by this record. Oh, God. Oh, God. Well, if you guys are mad about my award ranking, I'm sure you guys will certainly be happy about my Addison Rae ranking. I mean, listen, Addison Rae fans have been on my ass all year about this freaking Addison Rae record, and I'm sticking by my opinion. I'm sticking 10 toes down on it. I don't think it's a good album. The only redeemable thing about this is I think Addison's got some good taste when it comes to production, but other than that, she really wears those influences on her sleeve, whether that be Madonna, whether that be FKA Twigs, whether that be Charlie. She just doesn't have the vocal chops yet. And again, I get you guys are going to say vocals aren't everything, but the issue is if you're going to have, not the best, most standout vocals, you got to make up for it with songwriting. And the songwriting on this album is weak. It's weak. I'm sorry. It's weak. It's not great. Again, like there was so much good 2000s pop inspired music this year. There's nothing the Addison Rae album did that was all new, was that all that interesting, or brought anything to the table. And the songwriting on top of that was weak. Addison could maybe make something good in the future. All right. Like, I think she definitely has taste. That's one thing I can give her over other influencers trying to make music. Her heart is in it and she has taste. So I think Addison can maybe make something decent in the future. However, as it stands right now, I don't understand the hype of this record. Don't understand why every publication had it in their top freaking 10. That was odd to me. I didn't like it. There's better 2000s albums this year. Listen to FKA freaking Twigs. Listen to the freaking Rebecca Black record. D tier. I did not like this record. I'm sorry. I didn't like it. Gosh, all right, let's get into some good shit, man. Little Sims, Lotus. I think this solidified Sims as the greatest UK rapper ever. Just another amazing addition to her catalog. A very personal record from her, but also her most versatile, as she really dipped her toes into many different sounds on here, which I absolutely loved. But she was kind of forced to do because obviously a lot of the inspiration songwriting relies on this album is the fallout she had with producer Inflow, her producer who's always been producing her stuff. A lot of the songwriting on this is about the betrayal of that relationship, because if you do not know, he is alleged to have stolen and is in a current ongoing lawsuit with her for stealing $1 million from her, which is insane. So yeah, still though, Sims put out one of the best rap records of the year. Just again, greatest UK rapper of all time. I'm saying it. A tier. Lotus. Sims. When you grow up on an album like the Carter 3, the Carter. It's a Carter album, and you get Carter 6, which is one of the worst things Wayne has ever made. The rapping, the bars, some of his worst ever. The choruses, unfathomably bad. The singing, unbearable. Bringing back Rebirth sounds. Why? Garbage song ideas like Peanuts to Elephants. Like the Weezer cover. Outdated production. Trash production. A record that is really sad. Just really sad when one of the all-time greats, is done. Like, he's done. The only thing saving Lil Wayne is Tyler, the Creator. If Tyler, the Creator, can get that man in the studio to get him, there's them two, and Tyler just produces an entire album from Wayne, maybe, just maybe, we can get a good Wayne record again. But this album was trash. This is an F-tier record. Kevin Abstract, Blush. A lot of great songs on here, a lot of cool collaborations. Feels more like a compilation record than an album itself, but there's a lot of cool collaborations, a lot of cool tracks. It's a mess because it is a mess, a lot of all over the place ideas, but a lot of cool collaborations, man. There are the Quadeca tracks are awesome. Surprisingly, I liked a lot of Dominic Fike tracks, which you guys know, me. I can't stand Dominic Fike. Yeah, a little bloated. Songs that were kind of hit or miss, but a lot of cool collaborations, a lot of cool artists brought into the fold here. It was cool. Not enough to put it in B tier for me, but I go C tier. Turnstile, never enough. I liked this album. Listen, it's not as great as Glow On for sure, and I do wish there was more songs on this thing like Birds, which is an absolute bop with a killer riff. And I don't think the artsy moments are as strong as the stuff on Glow On, but still, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I'm gonna put it in the B tier. Lil Tecca, I really like that one song off this record. My life changed so fast, and I don't even recognize myself from last year. That's a bop. Other than that, this thing's boring as shit. Tecca is just not an album guy. He is a 1-2 single guy, and that is it. He's just not that interesting of a rapper to carry a whole album, and that's just what it is. But hey, you get a few good singles from him here and there, so that's cool. Lil Tecca, I'm gonna put in D tier. This record was not great. Ooh, Benson Boone. Moonbeam ice cream, sleeping in my new jeans. I ain't in the movies. It's so mystical, magical. It's F tier. One of the most annoying albums I heard this year, which is a shame because I think Benson has some vocal range and talent. I think those videos at his live shows showed he's got some vocal talent, but I think it showed this sound is not him, dude. The sound is not him. He's got to stop doing this pop rock stuff, man. It's just terrible songwriting on this record. He's got to get some better writers around him, get a better camp in there that can do his talent a little bit more justice, okay? Because, yeah, this was the most annoying album I heard this year. I was not more annoyed listening to an album than I was this Benson Boone record. So, yeah, F tier, annoying as hell. Marina, she's been in this thing for a long time. She's been in the game for a while. She is obviously a very good vocalist. However, this album was giving millennial core. Well, I wouldn't even say call it was giving millennial that is trying way too hard to fit in with the young crowd. That's what this felt like, because oh my gosh, is the songwriting on this album unbelievably cringe. The songwriting is so cringe. Yeah, I did not care for this record. The decent vocals couldn't really save this album for the production nor the terrible songwriting, in my opinion. So we'll keep this thing in D tier, but yeah, apparently the Marina album is the album of the year for a lot of people. Not around here. Not around here. Not around here. Gosh, I want to talk about disappointing is this Haim record, which had a few redeemable songs on it, but man, the production just didn't bop as hard as the last album from 2020. The hooks weren't there. I feel like vocally, the chemistry wasn't there either compared to the last Haim record. I don't know, like just not a lot of memorable stuff coming through on this record. There's a few redeemable tracks here and there. I think the second half has a few pick-me-ups in the track listing, but just not as many catchy moments, not as many interesting production moments as their last record. A little disappointing. I think the best thing about this album is literally the Paul Anderson cover. I'll put this in C tier. But you want to talk good albums? Woo! This Anastasia record is folk album of the year. God damn, is she just such a gifted songwriter, and just most of all, God, that voice. Those vocals are one of a kind. God, she's so good. One of the best, honestly, one of the best debut records of the decade, the more I think about it. Folk album of the year for me, standout voice, amazing songwriter, poetic songwriter, loved this thing. It was in my top 20, so it's got to go A tier. It's gotta go A tier. All right. Ooh, Mr. Tyler, the Creator. Don't Tap the Glass. Kind of a cool moment this year where, Tyler was killing it on tour, and then out of nowhere, kind of within a few days, was like teasing towards this record, and then a few days later, it was out. And listen, it's not one of Tyler's more conceptual records. Obviously, I get that. It's not one of his more like focused songwriting wise, but God damn, is this record fun? Is this record fun? And it's him doing like more of like a danceable rap record. And I think it's him really flexing those producer skills. It's just a fun ass summer rap record, man. I think this is just a fun time, man. Again, it's obviously not one of the best to come out of this, of like the past, like post Flower Boy era. It's probably my least favorite, but still, man, I think this guy just continues to be on a freaking incredible artistic run. And it is just his most fun record. It is his most fun record. So I'm putting this in B. It's a good ass time. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed the hell out of it and went back to it a lot. Do we even need to talk about the freaking Clipse record? I feel like I've freaking hyped this record up enough this year. I feel like not just for me, but like the masses gave this thing the hype it deserved this year. Culturally significant album, and I would say instant classic. Like, there's very few albums. Only once every couple years, I think you get that record that you could say is instant classic. And that it's because it's got to have the cultural impact and it's got to have the quality. And Clipse just had that. I mean, you get what you get out of this record. You get some of the best verses, some of the best bars of the year from Malice and Pusha T. Those guys have not lost a step, especially Malice, who just came in hungry on every single goddamn verse. Every single verse he had was a verse of the year contender. And look, Pharrell, Cornball, sell out, but goddamn did he provide some of his best production since probably Hell Hath No Fury. The synth work that he put out on this record was awesome. The sample chops throughout this record, the sample flips throughout this record were incredible. Also, goddamn, can I praise the hooks on this goddamn thing? Pusha T is like one of the most underrated hook writers when it comes to, I think, to rap music. Because goddamn, that guy can write a hook. She want that Mike Tyson blow to the face. So be it. There's so many great choruses, man. Listen. It is one of the best rap records of the year, one of the best rap records of the decade, and I said this in my best albums vid, one of the greatest comebacks of all time. S tier, man. S tier, obviously. Come on, is it even a question? God, Quadeca, Vanisher, Horizon, Scraper, Quads, most fully realized record to date, his most mature record, his strongest in terms of songwriting. I think he's just improved in so many ways. He still got those awesome combinations of folk music, jazz music, rap music. Flute playing throughout this record is phenomenal. The string work is beautiful. It's his most beautiful record. It's his most beautiful record, and conceptually, I think it's awesome. It's kind of, it feels like an adventure film. You're just going through the ocean, man. It's an adventure on the ocean. It was in my top 10. I loved this thing. I thought it was brilliant. So yeah. Also S tier, back-to-back S tiers. Back-to-back S tiers. All right. Then we got Mr. Freddie Gibbs and the Alchemist, Alfredo 2, follow-up to the first Alfredo, which in my opinion is one of the best rap albums of the 2020s. I really liked this album. I really, really liked it. Can I say, though, a tiny bit overrated. A tiny bit overrated. I did really enjoy it. However, I don't think it stacks even in comparison to the first Alfredo. I don't think Freddie's rapping is as strong, but regardless, like, Freddie is one of the greatest rappers of his era. So you're still getting some of the best bars of the year. And Alchemist beats on this thing are the best thing he did this year. So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I don't think it is close to as good as the first Alfredo, but yeah, some of the best bars of the year and solid, smooth. Alchemist production, throwing that in B tier. Throwing that in the B row. Oh my God, holy shit. Oh my God. Jack Boys 2. I get angry thinking about this garbage. What a trash record. What a garbage, trash, pointless, useless, terrible record. Oh my gosh. Where do I even start here? This whole shit is just Travis Scott leftovers, and they're not even good Travis Scott leftovers. They are terrible Travis Scott leftovers. Isn't the point of Jack Boys supposed to be to showcase the talent of your label? Yet, the whole idea of this record is just that Travis Scott is a selfish idiot who only put this thing out because he was kind of in a feud with Pusha T, because Pusha T obviously called him out on the So Be It record. And this album so obviously came out to try to stop the momentum of the Clipse record because, well, sure, it outsold the Clipse record first week. The second week, nobody fucking remembered this record. Nobody gave a shit, while the Clipse record, everyone talked about the entire year. You know why? Because at the end of the day, what sticks with the people is great music. And this Travis Scott record is garbage. It is trash. It sucks. It's terrible. I can't say enough hateful things about this record because I truly, truly hate it that much. It is trash. It is garbage. It is terrible. Oh, I hate it. F tier. F tier. Garbage, trash. Oh, I hate it. But what I do not hate is Mr. Jim Legacy, Black British music. God, I mean, you guys know I praised Jim Legacy so much this year. I mean, I'm looking at this guy, I'm saying, oh God, the truth. Like, I think Jim Legacy is the future of just not UK rap and music, but just music in general. He already has such a unique sound that combines so many different stuff, whether that be like UK punk music, whether that be Afrobeat, obviously like boom bap, hip hop, trap music. Like he's so goddamn versatile. He has such a unique sound, and the guy does this just a mixtape. It's just a mixtape. Is just a mixtape, and he already has like a sound that is so unique to him. The guy can also sing. He also has a good ass singing voice. Like, God, I think if he improves a little bit as just like a lyricist, my God, this guy's gonna be like a force to reckon with, man. Yeah, loved this thing. One of my most like replayed records of the year. So yeah, Jim Legacy, Black British music, the mixtape I'm throwing in the A section. The A section. Justin Bieber's Swag 1 and Swag 2. I decided just to put them in 2 here because like they're kind of just the same thing. Justin said, "Hey Dijon, hey McGee, I hear what you guys are doing and I just want to make my whole album sound like that." And they came in, they're like, "Okay, we'll help you out." And both of these records are just bloated. I think I prefer the second one a lot more. I think there's a lot more highlights on the second one. I think the most frustrating thing about the Swag era for Justin is like there's legitimately a good record, a really good record if you just combine the best songs from Swag 1 and Swag 2 and just put them in like a 12 or 13 song track list. You actually have like a good Bieber record. But unfortunately that is just not the case, and we get 20 track list long bloated ass messes where there are some odd features thrown throughout this thing, whether that be Gunna, Sexy Red, Little B, that don't make any sense. But yeah, I mean, like some of my favorite Bieber songs ever are on both of these. Daisies, fucking Devotion, Speed Demon, a few others on that second disc. There's some great songs on that second disc, man. So yeah, just frustrating. But Swag 1 and 2, I'd put in the C range. They're kind of both similar, but yeah, I don't know. Just bloated, just too bloated, even though some of Bieber's best tracks are on there. All right, then we have Che, Rest in Bass. Again, like I said this earlier, I just think there's a lot of interesting guys in the rage scene right now, and I think Che is just putting in some really weird experimental elements into the rage sound. And I think there's a lot of awesome beat switches on this thing that I really, really thought made him stand out. And he's got hella energy. The guy's got hella energy. So yeah, I think he could maybe like get a little bit away from like the Cardi influence. But other than that, once he does that, and the guy's obviously like what? A teenager? We could get like one of the best albums to come out of that sound. So throwing that one in B. Throwing that one in the B row. But like a record I liked. I think the singles were kind of the best songs on it. Some of the more cutesy tracks like Pokemon are great too. But like, God, Catch These Fists is such a damn banger. I wish there were more tracks like that on here. But I did enjoy the Wet Leg record. I did. I thought it was fun. So I'll throw that in B. All right, Kesha. Dot? Was that what this album called? Unfortunately, another disappointing record from me. I really liked Kesha's last record, but this kind of felt like her getting a little bit less personal. Which, you know, it is what it is. I'm not mad at that. That one song with T-Pain is pretty freaking bad, not gonna lie. I wish there was more tracks like Joyride on this record that were more weird like that. But other than that, like, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a safe record from Kesha. I don't know. It was kind of mid for me. Kind of forgettable, C tier. Speaking of forgettable, we have this Alex G record. I just continue to not understand the Alex G hype. I just don't get anything out of his music, man. Kind of like indie folky style with a little bit of like artsy sounds in there. I don't know, but I just find him to be a bore. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get the Alex G hype. It was whatever. C tier for me. The Giveon album as well. He's got a decent voice. I think the production on here is pretty. I just think his songwriting isn't all that intriguing, and like it's pretty one-dimensional. Little samey, decently classy production, but other than that, I just don't think Giveon is all that stand out. Put that one in C tier. Ooh, Open Mike Eagle. Open Mike Eagle. I thought this was a really fun rap record. Open Mike Eagle is like one of the most charismatic, tongue-in-cheek, fun rappers really of all time, at least out of the underground scene. And yeah, I just think his really witty, tongue-in-cheek writing style on this record was really enjoyable. And the guy has got bars for days as well. So put that one in B tier. Oh, we got friend of the show, Alex Warren. Friend of the show. We love Alex over here. Good guy, nice guy. However, that stomp and clap, holler pop, it's a no for me. It is a no for me. Can't really stand that sound. Wasn't really digging this record at all. Do stand Alex and we're rooting for him. However, this stomp and clap, holler pop sound is just one of my least favorite sounds, and I couldn't really stand this record, so I am going to throw it in the F tier. Tyler Childers, which honestly, for a year of country music, I was not really all that plugged into the country sound this year. However, Tyler Childers to me had like the most standout record. I have always really liked how interesting and weird his songwriting is, and he actually went a little bit more like rock. I'd actually say this is more of a rock record than a country record. It's a little alt country, I guess you could say. And yeah, Rick Rubin, who helped him do a lot of the production on here, I think really did his thing and provided a great sound for Tyler. So I really liked this. It's easily the best thing I heard in country this year, so put that in B. Jesse Murph, Sex Hysteria. What the hell is this? What in the goddamn hell is this album? Who is responsible? What label? What are we doing here? This was my worst album of 2025. This is one of the worst albums I heard this decade. It contains some of the weirdest, cringiest, awful writing I've heard in a minute. A horrid combination of country and rap music that has no business coming together like this. And just worse of all, I'm sorry, Jesse Murph has a god-awful, unlistenable voice. Gosh, just some of the worst singing I've ever heard. Seriously. There is nothing redeemable about this record. It is going to age like milk within a couple years, and we are going to look back on this record and think, why the hell were labels pushing this? This is truly a special type of awful. Easiest F tier of my life. Boy, man, it's you. I'm trying to get back at you. Oh, God. Oh, brother.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Speaking of trash, we have Mr. Joyner Lucas, aka Mr. Corn on the Cob. God, just all these years later, Joyner Lucas remains one of the corniest rappers alive. Just because you rap fast, dude, does not mean you are good. We have Eminem at home, buddy. He's made the same shit for the past decade, dude. F tier. Oh, thank God we actually have good rap music now. Jid. God Does Like Ugly, follow up to my 2022 album of the year, The Forever Story. I wasn't expecting Jid to top that record, but I think we got a really great follow-up. The guy still remains one of the best rappers alive, flows amazing, wordplay off the charts, awesome features on this thing from the likes of Clipse and Vince Staples. Guy has still a great ear for beats, has a great amount of versatility, whether that be some R&B tracks, whether that be hard-hitting bangers, whether that be really focused lyrical tracks, whether that be super personal tracks. Yeah, I mean, the guy is one of the best rappers alive, has been for a while, and I thought this thing was great. Not as great as The Forever Story, but still one of the best rap records of the year. I'm going to put that one in A tier. It's an A tier record for me. Man's Best Friend. I thought this thing was pretty goddamn mid. And honestly, the more I've kind of just sat with it in the past couple months, the less I've kind of came to it. I think it just shouldn't have came out so soon after her last record, which I didn't even love Sabrina's last record, but I thought there was a lot of great pop tracks on it. And I thought it had potential. So her following up a record so soon, I think just kind of hurt her because she didn't really have time to grow. She didn't really make it, so she had time to grow. And it is just more of what we got with her last record. But I don't think the hooks are as strong. I don't think the songwriting is as witty. The production is very much similar. It is fine. You don't have much espressos here. You don't have much please, please, pleases here. I don't know. Like, the more I think about it, the more I'm tempted to put this in D. I just think it is such an utter disappointment. There's a few decent tracks, but overall, this thing is just more of what we got on Man's Best Friend, but not as good. Ooh, we got Deftones, Private Music. Really good comeback record. Probably the second best comeback record of the year. Any other year probably would have went to them, but Clipse came this year. So yeah, I am not like the most head over heels Deftones fan. However, I think this record sounds great. I think it sounds heavy. The riffs freaking go off. Chino sounds amazing. The shoegazy moments are solid as well. A lot of great tracks on this thing. I think is the best thing Deftones has done since the 2000s. If you guys say A, fair, I get it. I get it. Do I come back to this thing as much as like you guys do? Probably not. I think A tier is fair, but for me personally, I probably say it's like a high B tier, like the most high B tier you can get. If you're a Deftones diehard, I see no reason why you wouldn't put this in S tier. But yeah, Chino sounds great. Riff sounding great. But who I am a diehard fan of is the early man, Mr. Earl Sweatshirt. Live, Laugh, Love. And the album title, the album's name lives up to the content because this is some rap songs, but if it were happy. Production is very similar, but Earl is just rapping the happiest he ever has. He's in love. He's a father. And as someone who's a longtime fan, I love that for him. But yeah, guy is one of my favorite rappers ever, and to me, this is his best since some rap songs. So yeah, I mean, again, with Earl, you're getting short records. Maybe wish it was a little bit longer. Maybe wish the guy had more structures. But damn, bars on bars on bars. Love the happiness shining through on this record. I love that opening track where it literally sounds like on that opening track he is smiling through the mic. A tier, loved this thing. Speaking of albums that I absolutely loved this year, that would be Miss Nina Geraci. I Love My Computer. You guys were waiting on this one. This one. Freaking Nina had no idea who she even was up until the beginning of this year. But she came through with my electronic album of the year. I just love how she combines 2010s EDM with like 2000s pop. And I love the songwriting on this thing. I mean, fuck my computer. What a freaking track. I mean, just like how this song conceptually is just like about how much love she has for her computer and the internet. Thought was so cool. But yeah, just killer drops, cute, infectious melodies. My electronic album of the year, top 10 record of the year for me. You know, I've been on the Nina Geraci train. I've been trying to put everyone on to Nina Geraci that I know this year. So S tier electronic album of the year, Nina Geraci, the future of electronic and EDM music. Hyper Youth, Joey Valence, and Bray. Didn't love it as much as their album from last year. However, I did really like how they went for more of a 2000s dance thing. Obviously, again, that was like the sound of fucking this year was dance, pop, rap. And they had some quality stuff. Really love the Rebecca Black track from this thing. That is great. I like MGMT inspiration you hear throughout this record too, which I think is cool. Yeah, I mean, I did like it. I think some of the songwriting kind of lacked. Gonna still solidly put this in the B tier. Miss Haley Williams, Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party. I mean, pretty much a breakup record here from Haley lyrically, but still digs into a lot of other stuff. Personally, I wouldn't say it is just a breakup record solely. He talks a lot about a lot of different topics on here, like True Believer, I think is a standout one. Far and away, Haley's best solo record. I loved this thing. Not only do I think it has some of her best songwriting, but I loved the very like 90s alternative indie sound she went for on here. And I think it has a lot of songs from like a lot of different eras from the 90s. So yeah, I loved this thing. Easily Haley's best effort to date, and was in my top 20, so also going in the A tier. Miss Leve, A Matter of Time. I think this record kind of grew off me a little bit. The more I sat with it, I don't think I loved it as much as her last record. I don't know, like, it is definitely more of a poppier record from her. It is not as jazzy as her last album, which is funny because I don't like see an issue with that. But now it's like more 60s pop, I guess, which is cool. I will say, like, that closing track is her doing more like experimental stuff. I would love to see her expand on stuff like that for the new record, because, you know, as much as I still like Leve, and I think she has some great vocals, and I think she's a good writer, I think she makes some really classy music, I would like to see her expand her sound a bit more and maybe take some more risks with the next record. But still, did grow off me a little bit. Liked it though, generally, so throw it in B tier, A Matter of Time. Racing Mount Pleasant, self-titled Racing Mount Pleasant. Solid debut, really solid debut, absolutely killer horn work, killer drum work on this thing. Good, I love the lead vocalist a lot. Good songwriting too. I think they have a little bit more of like coming into their own to do, but once they do that, I think they're gonna make a killer art rock record. Enjoyed this for what it was. I mean, killer instrumentation, solid songwriting. Put that in B. Oh, Yeet. Oh my, I thought this Yeet record was so fun. A good bounce back from that second album he put out last year. Obviously, I love 2093. Obviously, this one is not like as experimental as that record was, but goddamn, this thing has some bangers on it. This one has some really fun collaborations, and it is one of his most catchy records too. So I don't know, I had a good ass time with this. I thought this was like one of the best EPs of the year. So put that in B. And then we got Willoughby Tucker, I'll Always Love You, Miss Ethel Kane. I liked this more than Ethel's last record. I did. I think the slow rock sound for her is just her jam. I think that is her bread and butter. I think it makes her songwriting stick out a lot more. My favorite writing so far from her, I think, appears on this thing. It is like with Ethel records, they are a little bit, you really have to like sit down and like really focus. It's not a record you could just sit there and throw on. Because of that reason, I did not go back to it as much, but I still did enjoy it. I think the songwriting is killer. Production is pretty solid. I don't think it's A tier. I know a lot of you guys are saying A tier. I get it. If you're an Ethel fan, it makes sense. I think it's her best thing she's done. However, I think she can make something better. I do think she can make something a bit better, and I think she will. But yeah, still my favorite thing Ethel's done so far, so I'll throw that in B. Ooh, Chance the Rapper, Starline. The comeback record from Chance the Rapper after The Big Day, which I think this album showed Chance still has a lot left in the tank, and he still can provide some really, really heartfelt songwriting and rapping and songs. But this record is a little bit too long. Don't think it overstayed its welcome a bit. I still think there are some corny ass gospel singing moments on this record. I think it's okay. I think it is a decent comeback from Chance. It shows he can maybe still make a good record in the future. Overall, it's okay. Some good songs, some weak songs, but yeah, kind of in the middle on it. C tier. Ooh, Blood Orange, Essex Honey. I loved this record. I was talking about like the Erica record before, where like it felt like more of a vibe. Like this Blood Orange album is definitely a vibe, but oh my god, is the vibe, is the aesthetic, is the soundscape of this record just so beautiful. It is such a pretty record. Obviously, you know what you're getting from Blood Orange. You're getting like these beautiful, beautiful arrangements, these beautiful freaking woodwinds. It is such a pretty record. Great collaborations, beautiful collaborations. Caroline Polachek, Mustafa, so many other people. It's one of the most gorgeous listens of the year for me. And conceptually, some pretty heavy topics too. I loved this thing. It was an A-tier record for me. We have Mr. Dijon, baby. I could not get enough of Dijon this year. Again, a guy that just has such an incredibly unique sound. It is like Prince. He is like D'Angelo, Bon Iver, I would say Jai Paul. It's like all of those artists fused into one. And so incredibly unique. I don't even know how to pin down Dijon's genre. He is a mix of alternative R&B, electronic. There's even some like hip hop elements on this album. Like, I don't know. He's so hard to pin down genre wise, but all I know is that nobody sounds like him. He's got this cool ass raspy voice and really weird like song structures too, but also makes them really, really memorable with the performances. And this album, the guy's in love, man. The guy's in love. Like many albums this year. Like so many people went from depressed to happy from one record to another, and Dijon was just another example of that. Guy was in love. Guy's a father. Addictive as hell. I had it in my top 10. Dijon Baby is S tier for me. Joey Badass, whatever this record was called. This just felt like a contract obligation. That is what this Joey record felt like. It felt like a contract obligation. It just felt like not much time or effort went into this, which honestly I think also is just a testament to how good of a rapper Joey is, because I don't think this record's bad or anything. I think there's a few decent moments. There's this one like 2000s club moment where he kind of is obviously hopping on the trend that everyone's doing right now, and I think he does it well. But yeah, I don't know. Production is pretty freaking bland on this record, and rapping not at the quality you expect from Joey. Just really forgettable record. I think it was like a contract obligation and he just kind of forced it out, which sucks because I think Joey has been one of the most consistent artists of his era, and I honestly think this is like his first kind of big miss, which sucks because I think the guy is a great rapper and honestly one of my favorite rappers of like the 2010s. So yeah, like easily Joey's worst record. C tier. This Metro album was mixtape, I guess, was fine. It was a cool little throwback 2000s record, but it was too goddamn long. C tier. Ooh, Somber. I think Somber is a talented producer. This album, however, what makes this album almost unlistenable for me is the vocal effects that go into every single song on this record. Like, goddamn, bro. Like, I think all that goddamn reverb is just annoying as hell, which is a shame because I think the guy is production talented. Like, he can produce. Like, he is a solid producer. I think the fact that he produced this whole thing himself is really redeemable, and I think that is something to say. But I just can't stand the vocals. I cannot stand the vocals. It is unbearable. So for that reason, I had to put D. Conan Gray. I do not understand the hype of this record from those pop fans, man. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay. I don't know. I just Conan's voice has never really done it for me. I think his songwriting is kind of amateurish. I just don't. I think this guy's like 26 or 27, and I just don't think he writes like a 26, 27-year-old. I just think he is a little bit behind when it comes to his songwriting skill. Production from Dan is solid. I don't think it's as good as like his Chapel stuff, or I don't think it's as good as his Olivia stuff, but it's an okay kind of pop, kind of rock record, I guess. This Wolf Alice album was also fine. Another album I think was singles heavy. I think they played it safe. I think they were trying to go for a more mainstream appealing record and appeal to a wider audience. And it resulted in stuff that wasn't as safe. I think their last record had a lot more like edgy moments that I think were a lot better. And this record just didn't have that. It was okay. C. Renee Rapp. I think Renee is like this close to finding her sound, but she just has not found it yet. I think she's got a good voice. She's definitely capable vocally, but she just has not found her sound yet. I feel like she was almost getting there with like the more pop punk songs on this record, but she didn't really go all the way in on that, and this record has some really bland ballads that were not needed. Yeah, this album was fine. It's whatever. She's just, she hasn't really found her identity yet. It's frustrating because she has a lot of vocal talent. That's what Nietzsche used to do. With the next record, bring the humor, bring the funniness, and then add that with the pop punk stuff. You could literally be the Sabrina Carpenter of the Olivia Rodrigos. That's what she could be. She's just not doing it. It's so frustrating. But yeah, whatever. The Amare record, I did not see myself going back to. I think I liked it a lot more on first listen than I did post the album coming out. Another album this year that saw someone diving into the dance club scene. I think my issue with this record is, goddamn, some of the interpolations on this record are odd. That Cher interpolation to me is still odd. However, Slut Me Out, fantastic single. Wish there was more songs like that. Wish there was more songs that were similar to the last record. But yeah, this thing does not stack up to Fountain Baby, unfortunately. So, yeah, this record just grew off me the more time went on this year, which sucks. So C tier. This Mac DeMarco record was a fucking bore. There's some decent songwriting, but holy shit, is this record just more of the same. It is so goddamn samey. But yeah, the Mac DeMarco album was a freaking bore. The songwriting's okay, but goddamn, the constant same guitar fucking line on every song just made this thing so samey. It's a D tier record for me. Now we have Mr. Nourished by Time, The Passionate Ones. Goddamn, I love this record. I think this record is fantastic. It just kind of missed my top 10 this year, but God, this guy has such a cool voice, such a cool, unique sound. It's somehow futuristic and nostalgic at the same time. It's like alternative R&B, alternative pop. There is a lot of rap elements too. When you get a track like Baby Baby, they're kind of like experimental, like unique sound, awesome voice, good writer too. Yeah, just loved this record. Love his voice. I'm actually going to put this in S tier, I think. It just kind of missed my top 10, but it was number 11, so I'm putting it in S tier. Listen to this goddamn record if you have not. It is so goddamn cool. It just breathes coolness. That's all I can really say. So much swagger. On the contrary, this fucking Gunna album. Holy shit. Honk fucking shoe the album. Honk shoe the album. Gunna's not even trying at this point, and I don't even blame him. I really don't even blame him, because his stupid-ass fans will eat up anything. The guy has made the same record for the past 5 years. And on this record, it just felt like he was trying even less. I honestly am going to put this in F tier. This actually, I don't know if I said this already about another record being the most boring thing I heard all year, but I think the Gunna actually takes the cake as the most boring album I heard this year. Seriously, just the definition of a snooze fest. However, who is not boring is Adela with the Provocateur EP. Didn't really know about Adela until the TikTok was just spamming this shit. And, you know, usually when annoying-ass pop fans who spam mid-ass pop records are in my comments, I just kind of don't take them too seriously. However, I was proven a little bit wrong in this one instance when it comes to the Adela record, because damn, I mean, there's a lot of awesome production on this thing. Another record I think pulls heavily from like the PC Music era. But yeah, the production on this thing goes off. It goes off. Production's sick. Adela's a really good vocalist. Again, has a lot of charisma. I am excited to see what Adela does in the future, because I thought this record was pretty daring for a freaking debut EP, and is certainly making a lot more ambitious pop music out there than a lot of her contemporaries. So yeah, I loved how this record just took a lot of risk, and it's just an EP. The night and day difference from her first song ever to what she is currently doing, I think, is that gap is so wide. Like, goddamn, she can only grow. CMAT Euro Country, I thought was a really fun, like, pop country record. Had some cool crossover, had some really fun writing to good vocals. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I'll throw that in B tier. This Audrey Hobart album, slightly better Gracie Abrams. I think that is what we all can conclude here, right? She's a slightly more quirked up Gracie Abrams. But, like, do I want to hear another slightly better Gracie Abrams? Not really. There's one song on here I liked. That lead single I thought was pretty catchy. Wanna Be Wanted? Oh, wanna be wanted. That was kind of a bop. But yeah, other than that, she's just kind of someone that is, like, very Taylor-esque and wearing those influences a lot on her sleeve. It was fine. C tier. C tier. Oh, look at this. MGK, Lost Americana. MGK makes the most pop album of his career here, and it also happens to be one of his worst. We have shitty interpolations, some of the wackest songwriting ever. Listen, you guys thought the Conan Gray songwriting was amateurish. I would say MGK writes more immature songs about heartbreak and love than Conan Gray by like 10 times, and he is a decade older. This man is 35 years old and writes like a freshman in high school. The only thing I could say to MGK about this album is grow the fuck up, dude. Grow up. Stop writing like you are a fucking middle schooler. Jesus Christ. Garbage. Trash. Cringe. Cringe, 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 cringe. Oh my god, why does the bad stuff just keep coming? The Maroon 5 record. I kid you not, I'm sure you guys probably didn't even know a Maroon 5 album came out this year. Who gives a shit about Maroon 5 in 2025? But this album is the most lifeless thing I heard this year. I don't think an album was more obviously like forced to be made than this Maroon 5 record. You could just so obviously tell Adam Levine's dumbass put absolutely no effort into this record. And you could just hear it by the performances, by the songwriting. Holy shit, it is the most lifeless album I heard this year. Truly, truly, truly gross. F tier. God. Okay, well at least we're redeeming ourselves here. Oh, we have Geese, baby! Geese getting killed. I don't know, like, I hate to be that guy that just gushes over Geese because, goddamn, Geese has just been the talk of the town. I mean, this album came out, like, 2 months ago? And it seems like it has just continued to build popularity over the past couple of months. I mean, it feels like Cameron Winter is just at, like, the top of the rock world right now, where you have freaking Paul Thomas Anderson and one of the Safdie brothers helping you direct your freaking concert film. Like, I'm on the train, dude. I don't know what to say. I'm on the train. One thing I listen, I really like 3D Country. The thing I love about this record is just, it's even weirder. Like, lyrically, songwriting wise, Cameron goes even weirder. He goes even weirder. Like, Trinidad is fucking unhinged. That song is, there's a bomb in my car. Like, what? What? And obviously Cameron has just like a one-of-a-kind voice. I don't want to just say Cameron. The rest of the band, the drums are killer. The guitar work is killer. That freaking guitar drop on Tax is one of my favorite moments of the year. Geese is the thing right now, and I get Geese fans can be annoying, but goddamn, they're just so exciting. They are just one of the most exciting things to come out of rock music in a really long time. It was my number 3 album of the year. And also just another thing, this thing has just grown on me. It's Geese, man. What can I say? It's S tier. It is S tier. Then we got Maruja, Pain to Power. I thought this was also one of the best debut albums of the year. Maruja has this awesome jazz-fused punk sound, and the thing I really love about this record is not only the absolutely stunning, amazing sax work. The sax player on this album is from another world. He is not from this planet. I don't know. Sax work on this album is legitimately insane. The powerful writing just really, really stands out. These guys really have something to say. I really love this, and I think they have the ability to make an album of the year for me at some point. Seriously, they are that good. Great debut record. A lot of great debut records this year. All right, then we have 21 Pilots. I did really, really like this when it came out, and it is their second best record. It is easily their second best record. It is the best thing they've done since Trench, and it is their second best record. They finally went back more into the rock sound, and I think did it justice. The rapping doesn't come off as cringe here too, which is nice. However, I don't know. I didn't go back to it as much. I did not go back to it as much as I did Trench, but it was a good record from the band. I don't know. Like, I can't put it in A, but I did like it. It didn't stick with me throughout the year as much as I hoped, unfortunately. I never really went back to this thing other than the first month I played it. Maybe it's due for a re-listen, but still, a very good effort from the band and the best thing they've done since Trench, so I'm putting it in B. All right, everyone's been asking in the TikTok chat for Doja Cat V. Oh my, are you guys happy? We're at it now. Doja Cat V. Are we ready? Where will I put Doja Cat V? I mean, look, I have been very defensive of this record this year. I think it is one of the best mainstream records to come out this year. Easily one of the best mainstream pop albums to come out this year. And I think it is definitely Doja Cat's best record. I personally really liked her doing the 80s thing. I thought she killed it. I think she brings some of her most, like, on-point songwriting too on this record, and really good rap performances and singing performances. I think it is super consistent, her most consistent record. And I don't know, I guess it didn't perform as well as it did because maybe people are kind of over the 80s sound, but I don't know. I think she did the sound justice. Maybe a few duds here and there, but I did really, really like it. And I think the mainstream kind of slept on this thing this year. Really, really great tracks on this thing. Some of Doja's best. And yeah, her best album to me. Doja Cat B is B's here. It is one of the best mainstream records of the year. Oh, God. This Young Thug record, man. What the hell happened? What in the hell happened? What was it? I don't even, the stupid title this album had. I don't know what the hell happened to Thugger when he got out of prison. or jail. It's like he unfortunately lost all of his charisma, all of his personality. An ear for a good beat. Oh my god, is the production on this album blow. I'm not even going to talk about that opening track. It just felt really low effort. The only redeemable songs on this album were when he actually got really personal and talked about his experiences of being incarcerated, which were like the only actual songs on this album that actually provided some type of emotion. But other than that, like terrible beats, terrible performances, awful hooks. Oh my god, the hooks on this album sucks. And just really low effort. Really low effort. Yeah, I'm going D tier for Thugger. All right, honestly, another record I think is due for a re-listen for me, because I'm just hoping this thing clicks for me. I know a lot of people loved this Jade record, and a lot of people's like opinions I really respect. Really, really liked this Jade record, but I don't know, it didn't click for me. I don't really have much to say other than that. It just did not click for me. I don't know if it's like her vocals. I don't know if it's her songwriting. Maybe it's that. I think she picked some really cool beats, and I think the beats are pretty hard on this record, but I don't know. I think some of the songs are good. Some of the singles are really good. It just didn't have that click moment for me. I think I might re-listen to this album going into the new year and see if it gets that click moment for me. That's all I can really say. So for me, it was a C tier. Big Thief, one of the most disappointing albums of the year for me. I'm going to put this in the C tier. I don't know. This album was just super forgettable. Adrian, to me, is one of the greatest songwriters living. So it was really odd that the songwriting on this album, to me, was really weak for her. Not nearly as standout production as the previous record had. I don't know. This record just didn't. It was missing something. Obviously, I think the songwriting was not at the level it should be for Adrian, but even on the production end, I don't know. It just was not as standout. Another record, man. I'm sorry. This Zara Larsson album, I was even more lost on than the Jade record, mainly because I think the songwriting on this Zara Larsson album was kind of standout weak at moments. And there were also moments I think the production was kind of outdated. I don't know. And there's so many people doing this dance pop, electronic 2010 sound. D tier. But now we're talking, baby. Bitch, go listen to the Rochelle Jordan album. Oh my god. If you want good ass club dance music, this Rochelle Jordan album, vocals enchanting. Vocals smooth. Vocals sexy. The choruses are so goddamn good and so goddamn sticky on every single track. The melodies are fantastic, but I don't have enough good things to say about this record. It is dance album of the year for me, which I didn't really expect. I was aware of Rochelle prior to this from the stuff she did with Kate Renata. However, I did not know. I had no idea she would drop one of my favorite albums of the year. S tier all the way. This Wednesday record, which I also recently gave a re-listen to earlier in the week when I was doing the album rankings. I don't think it's like top 10 good like every publication seems to think, but I liked it. I do like more of the punk sounds and rock sounds of this record more than I do the country songs, but I do think some of the country songs are pretty solid, and it does provide like a good switch up on the record too. I did really like it. I did not seem to like it as much as publications did, but B, I liked it. It was an honorable mention for me. All right, a lot of people in the chat were asking for the Olivia Dean record as well, The Art of Loving. I mean, breakout star of the year this year was Miss Olivia Dean. No denying that. Had a huge blow up overnight. Became one of the biggest artists currently. I have said this before. I think Olivia Dean has the chance to be like the modern day Adele. Not that their sound is similar. I think that like Adele on a technical vocal level is like a lot better, but I just think in terms of like commercial success and like respect, Olivia Dean could be on that same level where she's super popular and just puts out music that is like undeniably likable. I thought this album was solid. I thought it was good. It's some really cute pop soul. I think she's a good songwriter. I think she's got a nice voice. Is the production at points maybe a little like too safe for me? Yeah, but like still, I did like it. And you know, that she can maybe make a really, really great record from here. I mean, the thing I do kind of worry about Olivia Dean is that she does kind of go the Adele route. Because I would like to see her take some risks. But, like, she just is so very likable and is so accessible to such a wide amount of people. I'm not really sure if she's ever going to change up her sound. And, you know, if all we get from her is really good pop soul songs on a couple times a decade basis, like Adele, I'm cool with that. Olivia Dean, B tier. Cardi B, Invasion of Privacy follow-up, Am I the Drama? And you guys know I am a defender of Cardi B's debut album. I think there are a lot of bops on that album. I think it is overly hated by fucking corny-ass young hip-hop heads. But yeah, 7-year wait. This record was not great. Not a lot of bangers on this thing. There are a few here and there, but Bloated, the best songs on it are songs that came out 5 to 6 years ago. Cardi's rapping isn't as strong as her first record. The hooks aren't as strong as the first record. Dated production moments, too. This thing was wildly disappointing. Gonna go in D for disappointing, because that's what this was. We have Frost Children. I liked the Frost Children record. I'll probably throw this in B. I think it is a pretty good take on the 2000s electronic emo pop sound, and I think Frost Children are pretty killer producers. I enjoyed it. I think I was expecting a little bit more from it than I got. I still enjoyed it. The Lola Young record, I liked when I first heard it. Never really went back to it. I think Lola is definitely very talented, though. Definitely a skilled vocalist. Very UK record. I liked a lot of the UK sounds on this thing for sure. I think Lola is another person who can make something very, very good soon. The record was likable, though. Also would probably throw this in B tier. This Mariah Carey record was whatever. I think Mariah is at the point where, like, you know, she's a legend status. She doesn't really need to prove anything. This record was just kind of, I think, put out maybe for a little bit of a bag. You know what I mean? That's cool. It's not terrible. I was actually expecting a lot worse. And I do like the Anderson .Paak tracks. I think the Anderson .Paak tracks are very good. Obviously not the same vocal level she once was, so yeah, but still, like, comparative to most people, amazing vocalist at the age of 55 or whatever, or 50. I don't want to overage her. My bad, Mariah, if I did. But yeah, it was fine. It was better than I expected. C tier. Oh god, this fucking Ed Sheeran record was a mess. Holy shit. Ed attempts to bring in a combination of world sounds on here, but the result is, like I said, a utter mess. If you're gonna, like, take from so many different cultures, maybe, like, bring in more artists to help you with that sound, Ed. I don't know. Yeah, the only song I liked about this one was the phone one, where he talks about, like, how he lost his phone and, like, found the memories of his phone. That's the only redeemable track on here. Other than that, this thing was a gross mess. I will put it in the B row. Oh god, I didn't even see people mention this record. Here we are, Miss Tate, Taylor Swift. Gosh, I had myself a good amount of interactions with Swifties this year, didn't I? What can I say about The Life of a Showgirl by Taylor Swift? Well, I guess I'll say it's not as boring as the Tortured Snoozer Department or the Tortured Listening Experience. It's not as boring as that record, but goddamn, the lows on this album are some of the lowest, most immature of Taylor's entire career. Some of her worst songwriting ever appears on this thing. Yeah, I mean, it starts off decent, I guess, with The Fate of Ophelia, which I think is good. After Opalite, it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. One of Taylor's worst records. Has some of her worst songs ever, undoubtedly. So yeah, I'm throwing this in the D tier. And the only reason it's not an F is because Fate of Ophelia is redeemable and is one of her better songs in the last couple of years. But yeah, bad record, man. Some of her worst songwriting. Really bad songwriting. Let's talk about an album that seemed to be pretty divisive this year. And that is Mr. Tame Impala Deadbeat, which going into this year was one of my most anticipated albums of the year because I am a pretty big Kevin Parker fan. And it had been so long since the last Kevin Parker Tame Impala record, but oh my god, no, this is my most disappointing album of the year, hands down. It's not just that this record is, like, just kind of okay or mid. I legitimately think this album is not good. I don't mind Kevin Parker doing a club dance techno record. I think that's cool. But I think the number one thing, if you're going to make a house dance techno record, is you should probably have beats that bang. You should probably have beats that have groove. Why is this shit so lifeless? Why is his performances so weak? I really disliked this record. Like, part of me really wants to throw this an F, just because how frustrating it is. Like, if I'm being selfish, I am throwing this an F tier. I do think it is not a good album. It is a bad record. But is it really, really, like, on the quality of these F records? Probably not. Dracula is a decent Halloween song, I guess. I guess I'll put it in D, but goddamn, this thing is close to going in F, man. This thing is close to going in F. This Daniel Caesar record, I think, is boring as shit. I don't know. I just think Daniel regressed pretty heavily. I think the songwriting is not all that impressive. I don't know how you literally get a team of the Avengers feature-wise. How do you get Sampha on your record, Bon Iver, Blood Orange? He had 2 Bon Iver features, not one of them are memorable. He had a few other like cool ass features on this thing, but none of it was memorable. The structures of this thing are kind of all over the place. Yeah, I don't know. I just think Daniel is kind of regressing. I don't understand what people found so enjoyable about this record. The songwriting was weak. The features were disappointing and kind of not used to the advantage in which they should have been. Production was fine. It was a perfectly okay record. It is a C-tier record for me. Ooh, Last Dinner Party came through with a quick little follow-up to their album from last year, which was a top 10 album for me, if you guys remember. You know, I think the fact that it did come out so soon after the new one made it so, like, there wasn't too many differences in sound or anything. They didn't, like, grow much. However, it is still really good, theatrical art rock. These girls have such great vocal chemistry together. Their songwriting remains standout. Performances are top tier. I still really enjoyed this thing. I throw it in the B tier. I haven't gone back to it as much. But then we got Dave. Now, I've said this too about the Dave record. I think Dave is like the UK's J. Cole. He is a very good rapper, puts a lot of heart into his writing, has a lot of good storytelling in his writing. I just wish he was better honestly, maybe that's a little bit of an insult to Dave because I don't think he's nearly as fucking corny as J. Cole can be at times. So I'll say that. Maybe it's a little bit mean to compare him to J. Cole, but I think like generally he's a good rapper like Cole is, and he puts a lot of heart, but like I do wish he rapped over more interesting production. That's my only thing. But the guy definitely put a lot of heart and a lot of storytelling into the songwriting, which I really respect. So for me, it is B tier. Production isn't really my thing, but the writing is what really, really carries this record for me. All right, there was someone in chat fucking spamming this Osama Sun record, man. I liked the Osama Sun record. It wasn't like one of my favorite Rage moments, but I think he's got a lot of energy. There are some weird experimental moments on here. For sure. He's got some good beat choices, some interesting, innovative beat choices when it comes to this Rage sound. I think he's an exciting guy in the Rage scene. I'll say that. I enjoyed this, and I think he can make something really, really good soon. So, exciting artist in the Rage scene. I'll put that in B. All right, we have this Lily Allen record, which people seem to be really, really loving this year. And look, it is pretty much her Beyonce Lemonade. It is a divorce record, a getting cheated on record, which no one likes. So, yeah, one thing I'll say about this record is I do think, I don't know, it is a very entertaining record. I don't know if that's the right word to say because it's a fucking divorce record where she got like cheated on literally. But it is like an interesting album because the songwriting is very intriguing. Like there's some odd moments, like the butt plug moment is odd. The gunshots, yeah, there's weird moments. The Lily Allen record was interesting. There are some sound moments here that I don't think were as ambitious as some of the other tracks on here, but I did think it was an interesting listen, so I'll throw it in the B tier. Okay, we have the Florence in the Machine record. One of Florence's best. I think it contains some of her best songwriting. I think it is a very theatrical, cinematic experience. Really good, really good. Didn't stick with me as much as it did on first listen, but I think it's still one of Florence's best, so I'll throw that in the B tier. This Demi Lovato album is a D tier record. D for Demi Lovato, how about that? Baby No Money? I'm saying it, dude. I'm saying it. I don't think there's been a more overhated artist in the past 5 years or 10 years than fucking Baby No Money. Baby No Money's music is not bad. He puts out fun hip house tracks. I think he's got a good ear for production. I think the production kind of bangs. I think there's bangers on this record. The track with Vanilla Mace is a banger. There are bangers on this record. Stop. You guys are being fucking haters. He's fun. He's fun. He's got a quirky songwriter. He's a little one-dimensional, sure. But he's fun. He has fun lyrics. He's got a good ear for beats. There's some bangers on this thing. You guys are being haters. Oh my God. You guys are haters. You guys are haters. It's not that bad. It is not that bad of an album. It's a little long. It's too long. But this record is not bad. This record's not bad. This is C tier. Okay? This is C tier. It's decent. It's decent. It is decent. You guys are being haters. Party of Two, another fun ass album, man. Again, I think female male rap duo is such a new and exciting thing, and I don't think it's something that's really happened in hip hop often. So I think that is really cool, and I think these two have great chemistry. I think Jada provides a awesome singing voice, and Swim is this really solid rapper too. These two just have so much chemistry together. They may have such versatility too. A lot of the house tracks freaking bang on this thing. That freaking diss track that they made together is such a freaking cool song concept. Party of Two, I think, are the future, man. I think they're the future, and I love what they're doing right now. So yeah, I'm gonna put that in B tier. I think they're gonna make something even better sooner rather than later. Then we have Mon Laferte. I really enjoyed this record. It is just a smooth-ass Latin jazz record with some of the most killer vocals you're going to hear all year. Not really much to say other than that. Really classy, jazzy production and absolutely stunning vocals. High B tier. This is probably like in between B and A. In between B and A. I wish I could put it like in between. But probably be right there in between. Also, probably would be like somewhere in between is this Anna von Hasselhoff album. God damn. Again, like I feel the same way about this vocally as I do that Mon Laferte album. Holy shit, the vocals on this album are goddamn stunning. They are stunning. They are so stunning. Really, really emotionally impactful vocally. And again, this feels like, it almost feels like you're watching a film when you're listening to this. Only issue, not really an issue, I think, but maybe a complaint for some people is it is a little lengthy. There are some longer tracks. It can be a little bit to get through if you're not just like focused in while listening. But really enjoyed it. But it is something that I'm not going to come back to like unless I just want to give it a full listen. But yeah, B tier. Well, listen, let's just cut to the chase. Ian, fuck Ian. F tier. Hate that guy. Then we got Silvana Estrada, which another really pretty Latin record from this year. I didn't love it as much as I did like the Natalia Lafourcade or the Mon Laferte record, but it is super pretty, very folky, great vocals. Enjoyed it quite a bit, so I'm putting that one in B as well. Then we have Cupcake. I don't know what to say about Cupcake. I think I get the same thing out of the Cupcake albums every time I hear them. She is a very talented rapper. And her first listen album streams for us are always some of my most enjoyable of the year. She is just endlessly hilarious, super funny, and can rap her ass off too at points too. Don't get me wrong. I don't know, like it's fun, but I'm not going back to the Cupcake record. But it's entertainment for sure. So I guess B. Ooh, speaking of underrated this year, we got the Kia record, man. We got the Kia record, which is one of the best R&B. And in a year where R&B was kind of weak, I feel like the Kia record was really, really stand out. I think she is so weird in the best way possible, as it produces all her own stuff and has such like almost an experimental edge to her production. Sweet voice. Like the fucking first record on this song is talking about how much she hates her landlord. Real? One of the best moments in R&B. If you have not listened to it, definitely give that Kia record a listen. I saw her open up for Raven Lene, and that's how I found out about her. She's great. Ooh. All right, the chat's been waiting on this one. Chat has been waiting on this one. Friend of the show, Rosalia. Friend of the show, my mutual Rosalia. Yeah, I mean, God, what a goddamn respectable effort from Rosalia here. She just continues to push boundaries, continues to risk take, and that is very much what she did with this record. I mean, she really infused classical orchestral elements in a really awesome way, and I think also brought like a kind of modern edge to it. And then obviously like the whole speaking 14 different languages for this thing is just insane. And like the songwriting is super impressive as well. And do I even need to talk about the vocals? Like we all know what we're getting from Rosalia when we're talking vocals. We're talking about one of the best vocalists alive, breathing, living. So yeah, I mean, ambitious effort, killer sound, amazing mixing, like probably one of the best sounding albums of the year on like a technical mixing level. And yeah, I mean, just such a freaking incredible, mind-blowing record from friend of the show, Rosalia, who did have a top 10 album of the year for me. So yeah, obviously that is S tier. Probably my favorite thing she has done so far. Mr. Danny Brown, Stardust, one that was also polarizing this year, which I'm kind of confused when so many people love the Jane Remover album this year. So many people seem to be digging on Frost Children this year. So many people seem to be digging on underscores this here. So I'm very, very confused at the reception of this Danny Brown record when it is literally a very Danny Brown record. Not only is it experimental and cutting edge, but it's just Danny Brown, and he's going back to the electronic sound that he kind of did with stuff like Old, but he's working with a lot of modern, young electronic artists in that scene. And also, like, lyrically, this thing is super, super happy. It's obviously a very light time in his life for Danny, as he is now sober, and kind of like talks about him overcoming those struggles on here and finally being happy being sober. So yeah, I think that's a beautiful element to the record too. I loved this thing. I think this is Danny's best since Atrocity Exhibition, and I'm still kind of shocked by the polarizing reception to this, but you know, I loved it, and there will never be another Danny Brown, man. So A tier. It was A tier for me. Ooh, then we have the second FKA Twigs album this year, Eusexua Afterglow. I think there are a lot of great songs on this record. Hard is great. The opening track is great. I am very confused as to how people think this is better than Eusexua or at the level of Eusexua, because lyrically, this album is not up to par to previous Twigs records, not even close. It seemed like she focused less on songwriting on this record and more on aesthetic. The vocal performances definitely aren't there as much as they are on previous Twig records, and I get that might have been the point of the record. The point of the record was like this trip-hop, like almost Massive Attack type of vibe, but I don't know. I think they're highlights for sure, and there are great tracks, but overall, I just think it was okay to me. It was okay to me. Yeah, I don't know. I put it in C tier. But I still love Eusexua. Another fantastic electronic album from this year. We have Tranquilizer by Mr. Oneohtrix Point Never. I just think this thing is an out-of-body, otherworldly experience. Really just mixes everything that makes Oneohtrix Point Never so freaking amazing as a producer. The only thing I say about this record and the way it makes me feel is it feels like I'm being transported into another dimension in space. This thing has me floating, literally. It is an experience, so one of the best things in electronic music this year, putting that in A tier. All right, guys, we're almost at the end. And we're doing the Arm & Hammer record here, which I think was very disappointing to me. This is the Arm & Hammer collab record with The Alchemist, the second collab album, which the first one that they did together, Haram, was one of my favorite things Arm & Hammer has ever done, and one of my favorite things Alchemist has ever done. And while I do think lyrically, obviously, the guys are there, I think these are not some of the strongest batch of Alchemist beats. So I'm going to have to put it in the C tier. But then we have the De La Soul record this year, Cabin in the Sky, which was a semi-posthumous record from the Mass Appeal label, who were just kind of putting out all these legends, New York legends hip-hop records this year. Really honor those guys' legacies, and I think this is a great, like I said, semi-posthumous record that really honors this group's legacy in a beautiful way. I think you could tell a lot of effort went into this thing from every single collaborator. A lot of importance, I think, went into this record, and I think it is really freaking good and a really, really beautiful way to end off De La Soul's legacy. As I'm guessing this is probably gonna be the last thing we get from them. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I'm gonna put this in the B tier. Woo! Then we got Navy Blue, one of my favorite rap albums of the year. This thing is just so beautifully poetic. I mean, when it comes to just poetic rapping, there's no one really out there as great as Navy Blue. Every word this guy says, you will just latch onto emotionally. He just puts so much so much heart into his bars, man, and the very jazzy, soulful production is some of his best stuff, too. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a rap album this year that hit me on the emotional level that this album did. It's one that focuses a lot in grief and overcoming grief, and it's just a really beautiful record, man. One of the best rap records of the year, Navy Blue, A tier. Then we have Celeste. Best way I can describe Celeste is, she is, if, like, you put Adele and Amy Winehouse into like a mixture, put them together, and that's what you got. Stunning vocals. Stunning vocals. It's good. It's like really great vocals and very jazzy. Some of the better vocals I heard this year. She's an incredible vocalist. So yeah, I liked it. B tier. Then we have The Help. I really enjoyed this Help record. I really liked this thing. It's kind of like that electro pop from the 2000s, like indie-tronica pop that was super popular in the 2000s, and I think they do that sound homage. Some super catchy moments on this thing, and I think these guys are talented producers. I really enjoyed this. B tier. Then we have another disappointment from this year, and that is this Summer Walker record. Yeah, I mean, damn, this record came out like barely even a month ago, and I feel like we kind of already forgot about it, right? Am I wrong? I feel like this record really came and went. Like, it came out a month ago, maybe not even. And people I've seen no discussion around this record. Maybe I'm just not in the camps that this record's being talked about, but I don't know. I just feel like this record kind of came and went, and I think a lot of that is because it wasn't that great. Gonna say the summer record was, there was like half of it I enjoyed. But it was super disappointing. All right, then we have the Ali X record, which I'm also going to put in C here. I think Reunite is one of the best pop songs of the year. However, the rest of this record was really, really safe, which is a shame because her record from last year I thought was really good, 80s pop, but she kind of got away from the 80s sound here and went for more of a commercially accessible record and some songs that kind of sounded like Lana Del Rey leftovers. Woo! Then we got the goddamn truth, the goddamn future, Gabriel Jacoby. This is just an EP, but it was my EP of the year for 2025. Gabriel is the best thing I heard in like R&B music this year. He's got a lot of like neo soul and some pop elements too that are very Justin Timberlake-X. But if Justin Timberlake was good, okay, I don't want to like, Justin Timberlake is not very good, but Gabriel Jacoby, good. So just think Justin Timberlake, if good, and also heavily D'Angelo influenced with his vocals. Also, like a really good songwriter. Yeah, the guy's just got a smooth as hell voice, versatile, mix of like 90s and 2000s neo soul with like pop music from the 2000s. This guy's just the future. Be on the lookout for Gabriel Jacoby. On like an EP level, this is my EP of the year, so I'm going to say it's A tier. It's the best EP I heard this year. All right, and then we got, speaking of the future and the truth, we have Dexter in The News Agent. I'm calling all PinkPantheress fans to the room, okay? If you are a fan of PinkPantheress, please do yourself a favor and listen to the Dexter in The News Agent album. I think you will find a lot of things to enjoy out of it. She has that similar bedroom pop, electronic, dancey sound. Super sweet, cute vocals. It is just a mixtape too, and she is also from the UK. She's also from the UK, and I found out about her from the Jim Legacy record this year, and they're kind of in the same camp. I think Jim Legacy's whole crew is doing some sick things right now, and yeah, I think Dexter is really, really, really talented, and I think also produces a lot of her own stuff too. Like, damn, that group is all so talented. But yeah. Please, again, if you're a PinkPantheress fan, you'll find a lot to enjoy out of this. Please listen to it. It's very good. So I'm going to put this in the B tier. Really, really good mixtape. Speaking of good young talent, goddamn, we are in good hands here, people, when it comes to these young artists. Red Veil, Mr. Red Veil, also friend of the show. Red Veil. Yeah, this guy just continues to get better and better and better with each release. I'm really impressed with the production on this thing. The live jazz instrumentation was absolutely killer. I think there's so much punch and emotion that goes into every single verse on this record. The verses are short, but there's so much impact with every single verse. Yeah, and the singing. There's a lot more singing on this record, and he's a solid singer. I think he's one of the better rap singers there is out there. So yeah, another really, really good one from Red Veil. And put this high in the B tier. This guy just continues to improve. The fact that he's only 21 years old is kind of scary. I think this guy has the talent to put out like one of the best rap albums of maybe not even the decade, but maybe like of all time caliber. Because the fact that he has this many good albums under his belt at the age of 21 is crazy. Or sorry, we're going to end the last album off with the most recent album I heard this year, and kind of a weak way to end it off. That is 21 Savage, whatever this album was called. Sheesh. I don't know what happened with the biggest mainstream trap artists of the 2010s this year, but they kind of seem to just lost their fire artistically and their passion and their effort, because this 21 Savage album has some of his worst bars, some of his weakest flows, some of his lowest energy. Like the production, what is going on, man, with these guys? Why is the production so weak? Why is it so cheap? I don't know. Yeah, just like the most low effort thing 21 has made by far. This thing was pretty freaking bad. Kind of a weak way to end off the year, but whatever. I guess I'm just going to assume this is something the label is pushing. I don't know. Trying to end that contract, hopefully. 21, what happened? D tier. Jesus, yeah. That guy's kind of hit a wall artistically. I don't really know if he's going to improve much past this point. All right, guys. Holy crap. That is it. That is the 2025 album tier list. Goddamn, 168 albums. That took forever, but that was fun to do. The S tiers I am loving. These are the records I loved. Again, check out these S tier records if you haven't. Check out the A tier records because I think they're all great. And check out the B records too because I think those are worth checking out. And that's pretty much it. If you guys want, you can hit that subscribe button down below. Follow me on all my socials, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, all of that. See you guys soon.